Hello and welcome to Let's Play me, GamerWolfSix of Khemia. I forgot this on the last Let's Play. We should do it for this one. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, it's for free on, I believe it would be itch.io, but if you want to support, not this game because, it's on hold, but, more games about the universe of Adastra, and, in general, the people that make these types of games like the Smoke Room, you can go to their Patreon and support them monetarily. So, on the last Let's Play, we started the game, which consisted of basically the main character being like, and I was chosen to, be the ambassador to the Jackal people, at which point, we learned that the human, the main character, went to Earth, and even though he had avian pox at some point and, lived through it, so he should have an immune system thing, he was given it to humans, which was causing a viral problem on Earth, and hopefully it's quarantined. Don't know how that's going to work out. 100% death rate, or pretty darn high. Me and Nefaru went to have a little cuddle and sensual stuff with wine, and then woke up covered in blood because there was an assassination attempt, and our good friend main character Scipio is having a PTSD flashback because I guess things weren't always so good on Adastra. Yeah, I guess that's how it could become dark. So anyways, let's start. What follows is a patchy, blurry mess that my memory is never able to put together. It's like during my first years of university, getting far too inebriated at the bar, only to wake up with a raging headache and hope I didn't do anything too awful the night before. Yep, I know that. A few things I'm able to remember, though. I'm unsure if it's real or imagined. Wolves come into the room, and I don't know if they're from the establishment or the Empire. More drones follow. These, I know, are from the palace, because only the Empire owns drones. Then I'm on a small ship. All the while, I'm trembling. I can't stop despite feeling completely numb. Nefaru tries to speak to me every now and then, but seems to give up after I only offer one-word answers. I thought I was a drone with this. I was done with this. But it's just like the first night after it happened. Like it's never left me. I'm still broken. Then I'm being ushered out of the ship by Nefaru. Calm is talking to us, but I'm not paying attention to him. It's like my mind is crowded with too many thoughts, yet I'm not thinking of anything. At least, I'm trying not to think of anything. I'm vaguely aware of the fact that Nefaru has been cleaning my fur on the way here, yet the smell of it is still all over me. I've heard that jackals have a far weaker sense of smell, not as sensitive of that of a wolf. But now that I'm focusing on the smell, I kneel over and retch violently. Ahotep. I'm jerked to the side, and first I think Nefaru pushed me away. I wouldn't fault him for it. But instead, he's positioned me over the bushes to be sick into them instead of on the path. Not much comes up, just the wine from earlier, and it burns worse than I remember from my younger years. It has been a while. The more festive days of school had ended after the riots. All the while, Nefaru is holding back my mane, just like my schoolmates have back in those days. Might have. Sorry, not great at reading. Also, were the riots post-Adastra, or were they pre or during Adastra, because there was, as far as I knew, a riot when, the, what are they called? The guys, Triumvirants, I think they're called. God, that brings up another game. Pope picked Amicus. Amicus insists that I meet him in the palace. For God's sakes, tell him we're on our way. Skip is unwell. No, don't tell him that. I'm fine. I straighten up, purposefully, taking a deep breath, only to breathe in the scent of the assassin. He filters through my nostrils as fresh as when he first splattered through the room. Again, I give a great retch. But I'm empty and nothing comes up this time. Skip, what's wrong? Were you injured? Are you sick? I mean, he is sick. Yep, that's it. Yes, I'm ill. I steady my feet again, then straighten up my posture purposely, setting off in the direction of the palace when a pharaoh follows along, his paw on my back. I shrug him off, not wanting to appear as if I need steadying, like some female about to faint. I was feeling off earlier in the evening, and I suppose it's developed further. I'm feeling better now, though. I'm regaining my focus, my composure. I begin my breathing exercises, the ones that usually steady my pause and my racing thoughts. Still, even as if I'm out of breathing, my vision continues to blacken at the edges and ebbs and flows, a constant threat that I might lose consciousness. It is the one thing I cannot do now, not in front of the men who are in charge of this mission. Too much depends on this. Somehow, over the course of 20 paces, I am able to retain my mind, recompose my outward demeanor. I've worked my way up to this position for far too long. I won't fall and let that height be used against me. Come on, Amicus is waiting. I don't look at him, but I can tell Nefero is staring at me as he follows along at my side. I can tell he wants to ask further. Of course he does, but thank the gods he keeps silence as he turns to walk through the archway and into the palace. I have only been inside the palace twice. The first had been with the other two assistants in training, in which Amicus interviewed the three of us before sending us back to the university. The last time was last week alone, when I'd been chosen. I needed to display the same confidence that I felt back then, to wipe the last hour from my mind. My confident stride comes up a bit short, though, when I see Amicus standing right there in the main hallway. His presence is always intimidating. He is the Emperor, after all. But now he looks especially intimidating. He's angry. What the hell were you thinking? More than angry, he's furious. But he's not looking at me. In fact, it's as if I'm not even present, his gaze reserved only for the jackal beside me. This is good. Nefero's smug nature returns, and I have to admit that impresses me a little bit. Even if he is the pharaoh's son, he's still a lone jackal within the palace of furious woven emperor. No, Nefero. Sorry, I thought it was him. No, Nefero. I'm not playing your stupid games tonight. The Emperor seems to remember himself, but takes a deep breath, though the smoldering fury continues to burn in his eyes. You realize how serious this is, what could have happened. I realize this, yes, I was there. Then what the fuck were you doing in the Clay District? I jump, never having Amicus shout like that, never heard, or curse in such a manner for For what manner? Brazenly showing your face. No appointments, no protection. Oh, they offer protection there. Nefero's joke falls terribly flat, as Amicus lets it hang there in the air, as if to emphasize the stupidity of it. You know, I almost felt guilty assigning a drone to covertly tail you. What if you'd been killed? I thought you were at least somewhat sensible. Amicus' muzzle hangs open for a moment, as if trying to search for words appropriate enough to describe his disbelief and anger. Even through my numb senses, I'm able to feel some shame and embarrassment, not only for myself, but for Nefero as well. What had we been thinking? We knew the separatist movements had been gaining a bit more momentum recently, become more radical. We discussed the possibility of things becoming more dangerous. While it might not matter in the grand scheme of this mission, losing the Pharaoh would. Well, it would end the mission. It might even start a war. That's what they want. I suppose I had to assume Nefero knew the risks, knew that what he was doing, but I hadn't even bothered to ask. I look at him and see that he has his ears back, eyes downcast. Amicus' anger seems to lose its edge, his demeanor shrinking a bit, as he waits for Nefero to respond. When the Jackgirl offers nothing, Amicus spreads his paws in a gesture of bewilderment. I mean, you're not some frolicking first-year student needed in private room for fornication, are you? I set you up with the best apartment in the Imperial District. It's a long walk, and I was tired, Amicus. What, you... Again, the Emperor is at a loss for words. The assignment of the current situation indicates that I have information that may be of use to you, Amicus. What? Are you talking about the assassin? About Nefero's living conditions. Oh, shut up, calm. What? The magistrate of the Imperial District ordered for the apartment to be renovated and thus evicted Nefero. What? I was not informed of this. According to Adastrian Code 3304, under housing, Magistrate Magistrate Anthony was fully within his rights to do so without notifying you, Amicus. Then, where the hell have you been living, Nefero? The Jack opens his mouth, but is interrupted by Calm once again. He has been renting various temporary living spaces, mainly within the Silk and Clay districts. I have logged the addresses of each location if you'd like to. Shut the hell up for once, Calm. The point has been made. If all you do is spy, then you should learn to read the room. It is interesting. The art of this game seems to be a lot more... I think in the previous one, they all kind of had their certain, direction and stuff. They kept mostly at it with changes in their facial structure, but this one seems like they're working with a lot more poses and stuff, I thought we were quite a bit more long, but I guess not, which is good, because I can read more. We know Calm. Wait, did I miss one part? Oh. Read the room. It does not compute, Nefero. We know Calm. Nefero, why did you not tell me this? Nefru. Amicus looks less angry now, more confused. Nefru sighs. You're the Emperor of Adastra. You have bigger issues to worry about than of me being kicked out of the apartments because of Wolven's spite. Not if it endangers your life. If the Pharaoh, or even the Vizier, knew of your slinking around the worst districts of Adastra, our entire efforts for the past 4 years would have ended in seconds. Why are you so sure of that? You seem to think they care about me. I said none of your games tonight. I know your relationship with your father is a poor one, but frankly, that matters little to me. What does matter is the optics. Imagine the son of Khemia and Pharaoh being murdered in one of the poorest streets of Adastra. Imagine it. Like it or not, you are my responsibility while you're here, as you are a diplomatic guest. So my inability, at the very least, to keep you alive, would demand an answer from Khemia, and set back all of our work by years, if not generations. That finally seems to get through to the jackal, and he does not respond this time. A very uncomfortable silence follows. Then the jackal bows with a quick duck of his head. You're right, Amicus. I suppose I have become too comfortable on this moon. I apologize for my negligence. Nefru turns to me. And I apologize to you, Scipio. Scipio? I had no intention of endangering your mission, but more importantly, your life. Forgive me. It catches me a bit off guard, but I managed to keep my composure. You have my forgiveness, Nefru. Then realizing Amicus's eyes are now on me, I quickly turned to him. I am adjusting and learning about this new position I am in. Still, I have known such actions were reckless. I am sorry, my Emperor. I knew before Amicus, holding my breath. This would be the moment to prepare myself for dismissal, from both the palace and my position. Nefru paw comes to rest on my shoulder in a somewhat sympathetic way. Amicus rubs his face with his paw tiredly, sighing loudly. Be thankful that Virginia is not aware of this. Amicus, you should know that a report on the incident has been filed for Virginia upon her awakening. Delete that comm! Deleting report of the assassination attempt upon the lives of Nefero and Scipio for Virginia. Gods. I have such a mess to clean up now. Who else knows of what happened? The owner of the establishment, and possibly a few housekeepers. Com, guard the entrance to the den. Ensure that no one leaves the premises until I arrive. Amicus walks past us, and I can hear a deep rumble in his throat. That is stifled growl before he calls over his shoulder. Nefru, you are to take up residence in the palace once more. I'll have your belongings moved here from whatever hell you've been staying now. Oh, wonderful. In fact, Com, alert Vetrius and Brutus, they will both be moving residence behind palace walls first thing in the morning. We cannot afford mistakes at this point. Yes, Amicus. And where shall I bed for your night, Amicus? Amicus is almost past the archway. Same room as last time. It should be as you left it. Oh, really? I thought that room was for the Emperor. Tss. Amicus disappears around the corner. A small parade of drones follow him. Let me just read that again. Funny. I'm not sure if he's referring to the first... Oh, wait, I guess... Yeah, Amicus wouldn't be in the Emperor's room because he wasn't the Emperor at that time. I was thinking he was joking about his sex thing. Nefero goes quiet, staring at the archway where the wolf last was. He then rubs the back of his neck, looking back at me. Does this mean I take the sofa? I gesture at one of them. I'm only partially joking. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to stay. If you'd like. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use them. I believe, however, that Amicus was implying that we shall share the room. What made you believe that? There aren't 2 beds in that room, if it's really the same as I left it. I see. I think about my small room on campus, the one I had been moved to after achieving my new assignment, the place that I desperately wish to be right now. Being in the facility dorms, I don't have to mingle with the students, not that I would have to anyway, considering they're all off for summer. But while I'd like to be alone, I'm not sure if there's security robust enough to deal with assassination attempts. And I don't know if Amicus has a drone tailing me as well. Probably not. So, do you wish to speak about what happened, or... In all honesty, I wish to have a genuine bath. I would feel like a shower first, then bath, because, shower washes stuff off. Bath, you're kind of in a soup. And you don't want to be in the soup of someone else's, juices. At least with regards to being ruptured like that. I'm becoming aware of the smell again, now that I'm no longer distracted by the Emperor. I'll take that as a no. Follow me. I frown a bit as I follow the jackal. I remind myself of Khemian bluntness, and my need to adjust to it, or even adapt to it, for my own use. We walk in silence through the marble halls, and soon cross into sections I'm not familiar with. Last time I visited the palace, I'd been a bit too preoccupied to really take in my surroundings. Now I'm able to see that it's more simple than I would have imagined, almost utilitarian in its design. One would imagine halls lined with gold, encrusted with gems, if they only listened to the rumors spread by the lower classes. We come to a stop, what appears to be a door without a handle, and Nefario automatically raises a paw to a black square, which sends the door sliding open with startling speed. I was a bit fanciful, I'd have to admit. What's even more fanciful is the bath, with the same size as the public one in the university, maybe even bigger. The university bath is almost always filled with dozens of men, but this one's completely empty. Instead of the sulfuric smell I'm used to, I'm instead hit with a warm, steamy wall of floral scents. Help yourself. Jones will clean up after you. I step in hesitantly and notice Nefario hanging back. Nefru. Don't you need to wash as well? There's a personal bath in the room. Besides that, I feel you need a more... Nefru makes vague, wavy motions with his paws. Wide open space to ease your mind. What you experienced was a terrible thing, and I know it has affected you. I bristle. For the moment, yes, but I've had time to collect myself. Well, collect yourself further. When you've finished, ask for directions to where I am. Calm will direct you. Nefru steps out, leaving me frowning once again at the way he seems to sprint circles around me with his blunt words. I begin undressing, deciding to be faster with my own tongue when I speak with him. Nefru thinks himself to be more clever than he really is, but it's not difficult to speak fast while being rude. Not for me, anyway. I simply yield to higher authority, and being a mentee? I don't know what that means. Mentee student. Well, that means I yield to almost everyone there. Nefru, however, insists to speak as equals, and if most of my assignments involves needing to learn more about him, then I must do that. I suck the air through my teeth as I slip into the water, a bit surprised at how much hotter it is than the university bath. I usually lower myself slowly, but it's painful enough that as my groin nears the steaming water, I drop in all at once. Growing in equal parts pain and pleasure, before dunking my head into the scented water. I come back up, tasting the salty minerals, leaving me to wonder how they kept the smell so pleasant. Maybe it's completely artificial. I don't mind either way. I'm already feeling better, shivering down my spine a few times as I imagine the remnants of the night washed down my body. I submerge myself a few more times before finally settling back, sighing deeply. I'm finally able to relax, and though the hot water is partially the culprit, it's mainly due to the fact that I haven't been dismissed yet. Amicus would have done in the main hall if he'd felt that what we'd done was too egregious. And for the moment, wait, did I say it wasn't done or was done? Dismissed, not as in his job's done, but as in fired. And for a moment, the Pharaoh hasn't shown any indication that he intends to tell anyone about what he saw me do. Though I had just been reluctant to share the experience with the Jackal, I now think it would be wise to open up to him a bit. He'd seen my reaction and questioned it. Best to achieve some understanding, because in case he does go some elsewhere for answers. During the psychological portion of the vetting process for my position, I'd almost panicked many times. I doubt I'd be able to do it again in my current state. Then maybe you aren't meant to be the one to go? It'll be difficult confessing my mental weakness to someone that isn't my mindfulness teacher or my mother. My eyes fly open as I realize I've forgotten to send my daily message to her. Damn it. Calm? Yes, Scipio? Do you have a portal here where I can use? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you to use technology reserved for the Imperial family. I sigh, wondering if I'll have to ask Nefero to borrow his. However, your personal portal is due to arrive within the minute, along with the rest of your belongings. Would you like me to send it to you in the baths? Yes, please. I'm not sure how to feel about my personal things being gathered and flown to me without me being involved. I don't dwell on it, standing to soap and then rinse my fur, careful to really get the spots where that one point crusted up. I dry in a hurry, and as I'm dressing, a tiny drone floats down from the opening in the ceiling, balancing a silver rod, about the length of my forearm, upon its back. I plug my portal from the floating machine in a delicate manner, now very conscious of the fact of what they're capable of. Thank you. I mumble quietly, but it immediately floats away, back to its ceiling hatch. I quickly tap to extend the transparent glowing panel from the rod. Hey, with 2 Let's Plays without a yawn. I feel my heart leap in my chest as I see that I have a message waiting for me from my mother. I hope that maybe she hasn't been up yet. Even though Lux is several hours ahead of Adaster, she's an early riser. I open it and see a small message. Skip, I hope you're well. Did you fall asleep early? I imagine they must be working you quite hard. Please respond when you can. All my love, Mother. It was sent around the time I'd been asleep, before it happened. What if I hadn't survived, and never sent her a final message because of my forgetfulness? I started to type a message back. A quick one, but then noticed the icon in the corner. Visual communication is what truly makes the device a portal. We only use it once weekly, but that day was 2 days away, and because I missed sending my message on time, and because I miss Mother. I push the icon resembling an arrowhead, as if pointing in the direction of where my mother is, thousands of miles away. She answers within seconds, and at first all I see is white fabric, then a bracelet, then my mother's face. Skip, are you alright? You fell asleep, didn't you? She doesn't sound too worried or upset, but her chiding voice makes it difficult to speak for some reason. Scipio, are you alright? You're alright, aren't you? Have you just had a bath? Your mane is sticking up. The fortress inside my mind that I had fire built comes crumbling down. I open my mouth, but all that comes out is a sob as the tears well over. Well, I think with us getting close to time and us moving to a new scene, that's a good time to call it. Woof. I was kind of hoping to do more. But, my throat hurts. Heck. Oh, well, I guess I'll just switch to another non-visual novel game for a little time and then come back to this. Hyena. So, and at this, let's place a comment, because I like comments. Some you like, dislike, tips, or comments. If you like my YouTube and like see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos that grow. And please remember to spay your animals, help control the pet population. That does kind of look like a couch, but I guess it could also be a pet. And until next time, let's be me, GamerWolfSix of Khemia. So thanks and see ya.